Good morning, my name is Kibi. It's my great pleasure to give this talk in this forum in London. The title of my presentation is Build 5G for Economical Growth. 5G Progress and Performance. China 5G licenses were awarded in June of 2019 to 4 operators. Briefly, China Mobile was given 160 MHz in 2.6 GHz band. China Telecom and Unicom were given each 100 MHz in 3.5 GHz band. In addition, China Mobile and China Broadcasting Network were given license in 4.9 GHz higher band. Besides these TDD single bands, China Telecom and Unicom were awarded 2 by 45 MHz FDD band at 2.5 GHz, and the China Broadcasting Network was awarded 2 by 30 MHz FDD band at 700 MHz. Since then, the race has been on to build out the 5G coverage nationwide. China is deploying 5G rapidly. By the end of last year, China Telecom and Unicom has jointly deployed 690,000 5G base stations, whereas China Mobile deployed 735,000. For this year, China Telecom and Unicom plans to reach near 1 million base stations, and for China Mobile, it plans to build 1.1 million with the China Broadcasting Network. As of the end of August of this year, China has built out more than 2.1 million base stations nationwide in both TDD and FDD bands ahead of the planned schedule. As of Q3 of this year, the 3 operators in China has signed up a total of more than 1 billion 5G monthly plan subscribers. Due to the size of the China 5G market, some of the 5G handsets price were as low as about €200 in a time frame earlier than expected. Based on the current statistics, the number of 5G handsets users is about 50% of the 5G monthly plan users in China. With the progress, China has currently largest 5G system globally with 60% of the world market share. 5G commercialization is at a healthy pace. 3G licenses was awarded in 2008. 3 years later, China Telecom had 36 million users. For 4G, the number is 120 million users in the same time period. 5G license was awarded in 2019. 3 years later, there were 230 million 5G data plan users. So the speed of the adoption of 5G data plan appears to accelerate. So far, China has about 6 million 4G base stations built up in 8 years. This year is about the 4th year for the building up of the 5G infrastructure, and China has built out about 2 million base stations. By comparing 5G deployment speed with that of 4G, it appears that the pace of the China 5G build-up is at a similar speed as that of 4G. If we look at the subscribers' growth historically, we see that the infant generation performed much better than the old. This is known as the old generation curse in the cellular industry. This phenomenon may be caused by the fact that although the cellular industries update each generation with a 10-year cycle, the underlying consumer business needs may be more than 20 years cycle. So what about the old generation curves for 5G? Well, if we look at the growth slope of 5G and 4G globally, we see that the growth of 5G appears again to lag that of 4G. So it is possible that the curse on the old generation in the cellular industry may continue in 5G. Something needs to be done by operators to save capex and to explore more in the vertical industries in order to change it. The cost of the equipment has been rising due to the technical sophistication of the next generation. The required number of cells also increasing because of the high carrier frequencies. This rising cost, however, is met with resistance from consumers in terms of ARPU, the average revenue per user. Without the improved income to cover the increasing costs, operators worldwide is looking for solutions. For this, China Telecom has led a business model innovation through the approach of joint network deployment and system sharing. Namely, China Telecom and Unicom has decided to join hands and jointly build 5G systems to share the deployment cost for the better coverage. With a combined subscriber base of 690 million or 40% of the China market share, this move significantly improves their competitive position in China marketplace. To share the 5G equipment, yet to allow room for differentiated services, the approach adopted by China Telecom is to use one shared access network but two logic networks using independent 5G cores. This approach not only cut the CapEx and OpEx by half for each company, but it also enabled the aggregation of two 100 MHz bandwidths from each to improve the network capacity and the peak rate. China Telecom's data usage has also been growing exponentially. With the deployment of 5G, this trend is set to continue. It is estimated that by 2025, the user monthly data usage is expected to close to 100 GB per month. In comparison, the data usage is estimated to be about 30 GB globally. This amount of data usage is expected to drive the country's digital economy to the next level. eMBB application of 5G has the potential to change our lives. We all used to USB and hard drive in our notebook. Currently, the prevailing USB 2 has a speed of 500 megabits per second. Similarly, hard drive is about 800 meg. For 4G, the speed is still an order of magnitude less. Now, if you look at the 5G, the speed is comparable to that of USB and hard drive, so many cloud services, including big data and AI, might flourish during the 5G period. 5G business progress. There are two deployment strategies in the world. In most countries, non-standalone approach is used with which 4G coverage is used as a base. 5G base stations are deployed as a hotspot to where needed using the 4G core network. In China, China Telecom advocated a 5G standalone approach with 5G ubiquitous coverage using 5GC. This approach enables service providers to save money in the long run and be able to support vertical applications in day one to expand the 5G markets and the potential revenue. This approach will also greatly stimulate the progress of the digital economy in the country and eventually in the world. China Telecom started the 5G deployment at 3.5 GHz using TDD technology with wide bandwidth. Then the deployment at 2.1 GHz is followed by using the FDD technology in narrower bandwidth. FDD has the merit of better coverage and delay performance. 5G, TDD, and FDD networks can complement each other, better serving the vertical needs. China Telecom has made efforts to lead the 5G deployment. In 2019, China Telecom was the first service provider in the world to announce the support of the standalone deployment strategy. This announcement greatly accelerated the SA equipment ecosystem. In 3GPP, China Telecom proposed uplink transmit switching that combines the TDD transmission with the FDD transmission. This standard greatly improved 5G uplink performance. While deploying 5G system, China Telecom is making progress on the mobile edge computing and enterprise UPF installations. By jointly building the 5G system with its competitor China Unicom, China Telecom saved 80 billion in CapEx, 8 billion in OpEx, and reduces the carbon emission by 7 million tons. In addition to the consumer market, China Telecom made a stride in the vertical markets as well. In the wireless area, China Telecom promoted small cell and indoor solutions for enterprise. To meet the need of 5G, China Telecom introduced the Smart Transport Network. To promote vertical applications, China Telecom developed light UPF to be used in vertical locality together with the mobile edge computing. In addition to the network slicing capabilities, China Telecom also developed the light 5GC combined with the cloud native configurations. Finally, China Telecom maintained a major foothold in cloud business combined with the 5G platform to promote the vertical markets. So far, China Telecom has successfully maintained 700 IDC nationwide to provide a one-stop shop for both network and cloud computing. With the maturity of the EMBB business in the consumer market, all eyes are in the possible progress in the vertical industries. With the progress made in this area so far, we see that the 5G made impressive progress in smart city and campus projects. Progress in other areas are also encouraging, including healthcare, travel, education, manufacturing, commerce, and government services. Clearly, it is still too early to tell how successful 5G will be in the vertical space. Nonetheless, it appears that so far we have a good start on this. Further looking into the vertical applications that we have so far, we can rank them in addition to their industrial popularity temperature, their potential in the digital transformation as well in their respective fields. Among the vertical sectors with decent activities, manufacturing, smart city, healthcare, energy, and finance are observed to have relatively better potentials for 5G growth and applications. We continue to monitor their progress with the massive 5G deployment in China. To promote the vertical markets and applications, China Telecom is making effort in all major industries with 4,500 projects running. To date, China Telecom has built out more than 360 5G enterprise campuses. 81% of the enterprises have 5G coverage. To drive 5G vertical markets to the next level, China Telecom formed an alliance with more than 300 major vertical partners. In many occasions, China Telecom provides the verticals with integrated solution that combines the 5G with its cloud services. These one-stop shop services that provides the customers with not only the network solutions but also computing solutions are welcomed by many of the China Telecom's major vertical customers. Now, let's look at some of the examples. Take the steel, mining, and ports, for example. In these industries, safety is a critical KPI. China Telecom promoted the use of 5G for these industries. Take the mining industry as an example. China has more than 5,000 mines with 2 million employees as of 2020. This industry has a revenue of 255 billion euro with 30 billion euro profit. For these industries, safety is a number one priority. China Telecom promoted the use of 5G to remotely control equipment for mining, transportation, monitoring to significantly reduce the death rate. Among the 5G vertical applications, the integration of 5G with machine vision, cloud services, and AI is the most interesting one. By using 5G for soldering, efficiency improves 75% and the accuracy improves 200%. Similar results were obtained in 5G painting and material feeding. Also, this combination has the potential to easily duplicable in many diverse industry sectors. From previous discussions, most of the applications so far concentrated in EMBB, industrial manufacturing, and connected cars. This is because the chipset in use today is expensive and is the same as that used in the smartphones. Starting from the June of this year, release 17 of 5G is completed. Among the features, the reduced capacity or the red cap capability and its corresponding low cost chipset can go a long way to further flourish the application of 5G in vertical industries for bit rate less than 100 megabit per second. So far, China has deployed 2.1 million 5G base stations. Altogether, China has about 2.1 million towers and 0.5 million rooftop and laptop locations for base stations. Therefore, there is still some work to do for ubiquitous 5G coverage. Beyond that, China may consider the deployment of 5G at the millimeter wave band to support vertical applications that require larger bandwidth or higher data rate on the uplink. To get ready for the cellular deployment at high frequencies, China Telecom Research Institute has launched the P-Run, a project that can significantly improve the coverage and the data rate performance at the millimeter wave band. We look forward to the collaborations from everyone to drive the project to commercial success in 5G and, more importantly, in 6G as well. With the evolution of the cellular industry, the frequencies in use is climbing. One problem caused by this is the deep indoor coverage from outdoor macro cells. For this, China Telecom is advocating the use of proximity radio access network approach, using a distributed architecture to resolve this tough problem. So far, we have many approaches to coverage problems at a high frequency band. Based on the deployment cost from top down, we have ultra-dense network, small cells, repeaters, indoor system, hierarchical network, MIMO, and RIS, reconfigurable intelligent service. To add an even more cheaper solution, China Telecom is pursuing P-Run project. It is hoped that MIMO, RIS, and P-Run can form a trial for cost-effective coverage solutions for the usage of high-frequency bands. To verify the practicality of the P-Run concept, trials were carried out that covered deep into a building using 5 hops. The success of the trial indicated that P-Run can be used as an excellent alternative to Wi-Fi mesh without the need to buy any hardware and availability of wireline broadband jacks. P-Run is an alternative and complementary to the traditional Wi-Fi mesh. It can be implemented by software only and has a cost advantage over Wi-Fi mesh solution. It is more flexible to add more hops to cover deeper into the building because there is no need to be limited by the number of delivered hardwares at hand. Most importantly, the last hop can be used as a server to implement the fog computing architecture for more localized control and management for a variety of vertical applications. We're running out of time to discuss more about P-Run. For more information, please refer to the IEEE Communication Magazine and the IEEE Network Magazine of this year. While the deployment of 5G is still in progress, 6G research has already started. At this early stage of 6, we can understand it only by its vision. It will be ubiquitous in 3D, fast and instant, efficient and green, real and virtual twin, sensing and immersive, intelligent and affordable, simple and integrated, secure and trustworthy, stable and reliable, flexible and open. Many of these visions could be mutually conflicting, and the job now is to identify the realistic ones that could actually be implemented during the 6G timeframe. So, 5G era has arrived. It will enlighten the future and enrich the living. China has deployed 2.1 million 5G base stations with more than 1 billion subscribers. The unmatched market size in China will benefit the world in 5G progress through established global ecosystem. With a flat trend for the world operators, the network sharing strategy and the experience from China can also provide the world with an alternative business model for a possible higher profit. In addition to consumer market, China is exploring 5G opportunities in vertical industries with some initial progress. Current experience indicates the smart cities, healthcare, manufacture, and education are early adapters for 5G vertical applications. The P-Run that integrates the proximity network with the cellular network may also be an interesting direction for other operators to consider.